etc. And this is one I made earlier to show you. So it's made out of an envelope like this, and it is very versatile. So we have a pocket in here, we have a side tuck in here, and we have a pocket in here, and then depending on how you glue it on your page, you can have a side tuck here, here, or a top loading pocket there. So I've decorated this one up, and perhaps for the future what I thought was I would probably coffee or tea dye some of these envelopes so that they're not so kind of white or cream really, and then maybe you wouldn't have to spend so much time actually covering them up. You could perhaps stamp them, stencil them, that sort of thing. But anyway, we'll do the covering up bit today for this one. I'm only going to do one because it took me a while to actually make this one. The actual making of the piece is very easy. It's just all the decorating and everything that seems to take a lot of time. Okay, so we'll put that one to one side. Now, my envelope is 8.5 inches wide by 4 5/8 inches high. So now these envelopes have all sorts of different closures. Mine happen to have this self-sealing closure here like this. Dee Dee's envelope was slightly different. So what we want to do first of all is we want to turn the bottom of the pocket. Now you can have it whichever way around you like. So I'd made that one, this one's on the left hand side, this side tuck, so I think maybe I'll make one that's on the right hand side. So I'm going to lay my envelope down so that the opening is to the right, and then you turn this up to however high you want that lower pocket to be. So let's say let's turn it up, have a look. I'm going to turn it up 3 4/8 inches, like so. Actually no, we'll do 3 inches I think this time round. Just measure that. Yes, we're going to do 3 inches. So we're going to just fold that up and crease it down like so. Okay, and you can use your bone folder for this. Okay, then you turn that back down. Now what we need to do is we need to separate this flap from the bottom, part from the top where you've got to fold. Now the easiest way I do it, I thought that the easiest way to do it was to actually just snip that piece up there like so. Then you've got a free flap here and a free flap here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to seal this part down. Now I'm going to glue mine, so I think what we have to do is actually cut the second piece up, so you want the whole thing to be free. Yes, so the bottom half now is separate from the top flap, so I'm going to just glue that down. I know it's self-sealing, but it's fairly old envelope, so I'm just going to use some glue to help it along. Okay. Oh, now let's fold that down, and we're going to seal that completely down like so. I'll just get my dry white like so. So that's that part. Now you're going to fold this back this way to make your, oh, the side tuck does actually, oh, it does come out on this left hand side, so that's okay, no worries. So we need to make this into a side tuck. So what Dee Dee did was she covered the whole envelope afterwards, but she particularly reinforced these two pieces before she made that into a side tuck. So what I'm going to do is, that's going to be up that way, so what I'm going to do is cover this piece first. Let's see what we've got. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this top half, and I'm going to cover this. So let's use this paper here. So I'm going to measure my paper out, I think. Oh, actually, we'll use the tear ruler and we will tear it this time. I didn't before. It depends what sort of edge you want on your piece. Let's get rid of these white edges on here, like so. Okay, so now we want piece to just cover that top half up. So I put the tear ruler along that edge there. Just going to tear that down, and then we will tear that piece down. So we've got a piece there ready like so, and then I'll use this piece. Actually, that's not quite high enough, so we'll use this piece here to cover over. Okay, I'm going to go to that width first, like so, and I don't want that sealing itself down, so I'm literally going to cover that now. Like that. So I'm just going to ink those pieces up. Today I'm using tea dye. Nice colour. I hope everyone's okay. Today's Saturday, weekend after the Easter weekend. Haven't had an opportunity to come on and do any crafting. Been busy at work all week. In fact, last night I was working here at home until gone 8 o'clock in the evening because I had some urgent letters I had to get out. That's the piece of that, right? Yeah, so I was doing quite a lot of work. I've got primary biliary cholangitis. It's called PBC, and last December I was referred by my gastroenterologist to the dermatology team just to rule out any other causes for the all over 24/7 itching, which is a main symptom of PBC, as they call it. And they concurred with the gastro people and said yes, it was caused by PBC. I've got no eczema, psoriasis, nothing obvious, no skin rashes, nothing that could cause the itching. So they concurred that it was actually, you know, the liver itch, as it's called, because PBC affects the bile ducts. They're not working properly. But I'm at the very, very early stages of it. So, and I could be like that for the rest of my life, hopefully, if everything, you know, all the medication keeps it at bay. I'm just sticking that down on the top, like so, leaving a little border around it like that. And yeah, so anyway, she said to me, this dermatology consultant, well, what I can do, she said, is I can refer you for light therapy treatment. She said, because it has been known to actually help people, you know, with this condition. She said you'd have to have a series of you know, sessions. So I Never heard anything from that day. She said it could take 5 to 8 weeks. She said it depends how busy they are, but she said you will hear. Should just be patient. So I thought, okay, that's fine, no problem. So you can trim this off afterwards. I think I'll have it that way actually. So I'm just going to trim that bit down. I think like that. I think what we'll do is stick it down first. Anyway, I get a phone call a week before Easter from them. Apparently the whole department had to shut down for 2 solid months because the team had to be redeployed to look after COVID patients. So they shut the whole department down, and the actual therapy takes place not at the hospital where I work, which is a bit of a nuisance really. It's in a hospital half an hour away from us called Amersham Hospital. That's where our dermatology team are based. And so I think I'll go ahead and use a piece of that to put down there as well. So we'll link round that piece. So anyway, she said to me, oh, you'll have to commit to however many sessions we think you're going to need. She said, you stand naked in a cubicle, and it's a bit like a tanning booth, and you start off with a few seconds worth of treatment, and then they build up. Because I have a very fair freckly skin, they said they probably only build up to about 9 minutes maximum, and I have to have 20 sessions, and I have to go 3 times a week. So this week was the first week. And that's another reason why I haven't been able to do any crafting, because I chose a 12-20 appointments block for my sessions because work have been very good. My consultant suggests go for it because she knows how much, you know, I've been suffering. And she said, go for it, you know, do what you need to do to alleviate your symptoms. So 12, I have to leave here about, I don't know, a good 40 to 50 minutes beforehand because of the traffic. And so that's a big chunk out of the middle of my working day. So then I have to come back and kind of almost make up the time. You know, I don't specifically have to, but if I've got things I have to do for my patients, then, you know, obviously I will stay late and do it, make up the time, which is what I was doing last night. So it's a bit of a drag, I have to say, and I have to commit to at least 20 sessions. And the first session was an assessment and explaining about the machine and all of that. Second session was now I have inadvertently stuck that whole piece down when actually I only wanted to stick down the piece on top of this flap. So good job I noticed in time. That's what chatting does. I'm not paying attention, I do apologise. Telling you a tale that you may or may not wish to hear. Anyway, so I have to commit now to 20 sessions. So I have to go on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Friday at 12:20 every week now for the next, well, I suppose it works out about 6 weeks. And that treatment, you know, hopefully will help my skin a lot. The daughters have teased me and said, oh, I'll probably come out looking like David Dickerson, which is a character on TV on one of the auction programs, and he's got an orange tan all over. So they think that's funny, you know, to accuse Mum of coming out looking like, you know, Orange Man. But hopefully I won't. I did ask her that. So what we're going to do at the top, I know I've covered it, but we're going to now shape that into a tag So let's take that piece and that's around the wrong way. You have to make sure if you use the piece you've cut off as a guide, you can make the other corner the same. Okay, and then we're going to take our scissors and we're just going to trim a tiny slither off of the top edge of this piece, which will then open it up, and it opens up like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to turn this top piece down like so. Now I know I've covered it and I know it's now underneath there, but that has strengthened that flap, so just make sure that's fairly straight like so. So now you've got your top loading pocket here, and then we're going to glue down the sides of this side flap here like so, and glue that there like so. Just make sure that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. All right, and then we're going to glue this down both sides to make that bottom pocket. So you just want a thin bead of glue down each side. Yeah, so it's been a real, and it's so tiring. You know, by the time I get back, I don't really feel like I want to do anything, but of course I have to carry on working. So, and then I had that second COVID jab, because obviously working at the hospital, we are lucky really that we've, you know, had the jabs. But that has had, I didn't have any really bad side effects from the first jab, just a stiff arm, no worse than I'd get with the flu jab, because that's what usually happens to me. But the second time round, it's really knocked me for 6. It's caused extreme fatigue, nausea, and a bad headache. And that most of that's gone. It only lasted about a day and a half, just over the weekend, the Easter weekend, but now it seems to have come back. Now Dee Dee stuck this one down, but what we can do is we can stick it down 2 sides and we can make that a tuck there if we wanted to. Now I don't particularly want to, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tuck mine inside, and I'm going to glue it down that way, and that's going to strengthen that top edge of that top pocket. So that's what I'm doing with mine. So we're just going to glue that down like so, and I'm going to open that up, and I am going to fold that over. It's a bit messy, and stick it down like so. Okay, like that. Right, so I'm then going to ink that edge just to define it and so that it matches everything else like so. And then all we have to do now is just cover this top piece. Now you can cover it in all sorts of papers. Now see, that's directional and that's different directions, so I probably, now would that matter or would it not? Does it really matter? I suppose it's up to me, isn't it? Why not? Let's use it. Let's just stick that down. So I'm just going to stick this little flap down of this envelope that's sticking up, and I'm just going to put some glue across here all around that flap, and then I am just going to find which piece, quickly ink this bottom edge. It's easy to ink it before you glue it. I'm just going to ink that, and I am going to place it on my piece, stick it down, lay it down like so, give it a press down, and then I am going to cut round it with my scissors like so. Hope I'm in camera. Yes, so that's been my week. How has everyone else been? What have you been up to? Have you been crafting a lot? I haven't had an opportunity to watch hardly any YouTube videos, so the people I follow, I do apologise to them. They probably wonder what's happened to me, but I will get back into it soon. Just going to ink that edge a little bit more, just to give that more definition like so. Now what I did actually is I put a thumb hole there. Now this is tricky once you've glued it down, so I'm just going to eyeball it, and it's going to be a very thin one because I have to make sure this is in like so, and then I'll just ink. I'll just glue that down there. So try and make sure you do that before you actually glue it down, unlike me. I mean, it's only something I wanted to put in. It's not something that you have to put in if you don't want one. You don't have to have one. So just give that a press down so that it actually sticks. Like so. And there we have the basis of our piece. So, let me get a tag. And so we have a top pocket here, a middle pocket here, a side tuck here. Depending on how you glue it on your page, you can have side tuck here, or you can have another top loading pocket up there. So it's quite a versatile piece with lots of pockets to put pieces in. And so now we'll decorate this one up. Let's have a think now. We've got it all the same colour, so it'd be nice to put some colour on it. So I've got some of these Tim Holtz flower pieces, and I thought this colour would go very nice. I thought that looks very nice there, like that. What else have we got? We have got another piece here. We could have that peeking out of that pocket like so. I've got some lace that I thought I might run along the bottom there. I thought that would be very nice. Could actually run it along there as well if I wanted to, underneath that flower. So that would be rather nice. So let's just stick this on, or we can collage underneath it. So that's what I'm thinking. Shall I do a bit of collaging underneath? I have got some bits and bobs over here. So got some music paper. Here's a piece already torn up. That's which side. I'm always struggling to know which way up music is. No, I did do music at school, and I can't actually remember. Sadly, as I'm not a musician as such, so I've not continued with it. You know, got some words here. We could just tear around those like so. See what that looks like underneath there, like that. Maybe something darker to go down the middle of there. What have I got out? already. I'm trying to use up the bits I've already got. So I have got some of this lace. That might be quite nice. This is Digital Lace Kit. And that lady's name, whose kit this is, was on the tip of my tongue just then, and now it's gone. But if you want to know where it's come from, just put a message in the box below, and I'll find out for you. Now let's see, let's have a look. So we put that there and that there, and a bit of that straight edge there, and we put this on here like so. Now that, I quite like that actually, it's quite subtle. Yes, so I'm going to go with that. Right, so we're going to ink up these pieces. So I hope everyone's managed to have a good week. Children are still on school holidays in the UK in most areas. I think they may overlap by a week or so either side. So some counties, they break up a week earlier than others. So my grandson's, one who's down here in Buckinghamshire, one who's up in Hampshire, or down in Hampshire I should say, he, I think they both go back at the same time. So they've got another week at home, which is lovely for them. Although the weather has turned very bitterly cold. We've had snow flurries, goodness knows what, frosts again. I feel sorry for anyone who's put all their plants in their garden, you know, the bedding plants and all of that, because they will be shriveled up. My tulips came out, they look beautiful, beautiful yellow, and then we had a frost and the next day they were really droopy again, so that was a shame. They have, you know, revived themselves since then, I have to say. So I'm just inking around this piece, and there's quite a lot of white on these pieces, so I shall just rub over it and gently dull it down. I don't want to dull it down too much. So I think that's how I'm going to have them. Right, that maybe have a bit more of the lace showing rather than that. Yeah, so that is going to go down like that. So I think we'll put the lacy bit down first. Yeah, so it's been a strange week for me particularly. And on top of that, we've had Chappie doing some decorating for us, because it's another thing we never really get round to doing ourselves. You know, both work full time, and I just said to my husband, you know, actually that piece, I'm just going to put that under there. Yeah, so that's been a real upheaval, having to move things, you know, dusting before he comes, because if you pull out bits of furniture, it doesn't matter how house proud you are and clean, you know, you always find dust. So that's going to go like that. Then this piece of music. Yeah, so he's done our hall stairs and landing, which is a mammoth job. Lots of glossing, and I hate glossing. So that's been quite nice to have that all done. And hopefully that will last us a few years now. I'm not one for changing my colour schemes that often, you know, unless they, you know, need doing really. So let's see. Right, so I'm going to stick this down. I'm going to hope that this is going to stick with this Cosmic Shimmer glue. If not, I may have to go back over this piece and stick this down with Fabri-Tac. Should be okay. Just gonna like so. Okay, now link round this piece here. Just put that pin the glue. Oh my goodness. And just ink round here. So I'd love to hear from you all, you know, who's doing what at the moment. I know what some people are doing, but not what others are doing. So it's quite nice to see what ideas people have. You know, I'm determined to keep this challenge going, this hashtag 2021 TCTC, because I do like the idea of, you know, this kind of reference library, if you like, of pieces. Okay, now I'm just thinking, what else can we have on here? So it'd be quite nice to have perhaps a label. Might be quite nice. Let's see, what other labels have we got in here quickly. I don't want to be spending lots of time. That's rather too big. That's quite nice. I actually like that one. Keep that out and we'll look for one other that's too similar to the colour scheme. So that would meld into the background, I think. Let me see. Sometimes there's too much choice, isn't there? Piece of sticker, that's actually a sticker. I could have that there with maybe. Often the ones you want are right at the bottom. Now that's actually a nice piece there. Right, let's just see if we've got a small butterfly. I think there were some small butterflies in here. There's a nice butterfly. There's a nice butterfly there. Maybe have that there. There's another butterfly there. No, don't feel anything for that one today. He's not approved. He has to go back in the pot for another day. I think I've got lots of butterflies in here, but when you actually go to look for them, it's awkward, isn't it? You think, oh, where have they all gone now? I like that one up there, so I think I have those 2 butterflies, and perhaps that, no, I've changed my mind about that label. I think maybe we'll have that up there. I don't know if it's too busy, but I thought perhaps I may run some lace down here instead of along the bottom, just to put a bit of interest on that side tuck. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut that about there. Gosh, I seem to have everything out today on my desk. So this I will use Fabri-Tac for this. Well, it's Beacon 3-in-1. I know I'm always calling it Fabri-Tac, but it is so similar, if not the same, and I'm still deliberating over this. Still waiting for somebody to explain to me what the difference is between the two. Now let's put this on one side. Just check to see which side we want. We want that side like so. So just going to put that over the edge slightly. Like that, and then I'll wait for it to dry and I will trim the edges off. Pat down. Right, so that's that. Now, I thought we'd have this sticker at the top. I don't use these stickers, you know. Isn't it terrible? You get a lot, you know, I'm lucky to have a few bits that people keep buying me, namely family. And my husband keeps buying me these sticker packs, and I don't really use them. So in honour of him, I will put that one on and give that a press down like so. And then we're going to ink round quickly this butterfly. This is sort of a grey edging on this one, and again this one, they, instead of having that white border, they've got a sort of a grey border, and we're going to have, I think, this little label, which I like. It's a piece of an invoice, I think, that's been stamped. It's actually that way up, so we're going to have that there. Now, where did we say we were having this butterfly here, like so, and we're having this butterfly here, like that. Do I think of him like that? Nope. Do I think there, perhaps? Right, okay, let's stick those down. And we've nearly finished it, you'll be pleased to know. I think the decorating side, what on earth happened to that? The decorating side of any ephemera that you make can take such a long time, unless it's just me that seems to take ages. I'm not going to put anything underneath these pieces. Decided not to. Make sure, I hope my head wasn't in the way then. It's the last thing you want to see. Right. I sold my spring journal, posted that out this week. So that cheered me up no end, actually. Really did. To think that somebody liked it enough to want to buy it is amazing. you know, something that you've made. And I was really proud of that, actually. So let's snip off this excess. Trying to tidy up as I go along and not leave a whole mess everywhere. Just see a piece sticking out there, and just want to neaten that edge up there, like so. Right. So get our tag back. So here we have the finished piece. So we have pocket here, side tuck here, a nice pocket, deep pocket there, depending on how you glue it on. Top loading pocket here, so you would glue all around there. Side tuck here, so you would glue down those sides. And again, you could have a side tuck there if you glue those sides down. So it is a very versatile piece. So that's it, folks. I hope you've enjoyed that. And those are the finished articles. The one I made earlier and this one, which I really like, the blues. I think they're lovely. Right, so that's me done. I better go and get dressed now. So I think I have to go into town to pick up a parcel and take some paint back that we didn't use. Have a lovely weekend, everyone. Hopefully I will see you again over the weekend. But just in case I don't, I hope you all have a lovely weekend and manage to get some relaxation in and some crafting if that's what you're into. Take care.